Good morning, Master Gardeners. We're in a condo looking at aeroponic gardening. We've looked at this before, but we're going to look at what to do when your plants have been in your container for 6 months. And right as during this video, we're going to demonstrate how to take a mature plant and move it into a container and acclimate it gradually. So Kath's going to go ahead and start doing this. She's been growing hydroponic plants, actually aeroponics, for a long time. She's much more accomplished at this than I am, and she can demonstrate what to do, and she's taught me a lot and gotten me to the point where I've fallen in love with these containers. Look how mature the root system is after 6 months. We have parsley and we have thyme here. Her objective is she wants to plant the thyme into a container and continue to grow it. You know, one of the great virtues of hydroponic growing is something like thyme is so much more tender. These little young stems are so soft that even you would want to chew on them. Where I find my thyme in my vegetable garden tends to get hard and the stems are not as useful, and you can you feel them in your teeth. But that's the great joy of growing hydroponically. Although she has great natural light in her condominium here, these units can easily be used in a dark area and a dark space. If you really wanted to consolidate the light, you could actually hang some white papers around them. The light platform has multiple colors. If you look up inside here, you'll see there's red and there's blue colors of these LEDs. They don't emit very much heat. Therefore, you don't have to be concerned about blue getting burnt. So watch what she's doing here. Her objective with this thyme is to get that root system down deeply inside. And because the root system is totally acclimated to just water, she's trying to make a very gradual transition for this plant so that she doesn't shock it too much. So she incorporates her potting mix around her soil. She's going to use a water meter in the days to come. She's not going to move this out on the patio yet. She's actually going to keep it near the unit right here and gradually get it acclimated indoors. And then if she wants to later on take on the option of moving it outside, she can do that. But this is an old plant. It has been in this hydroponic system for 6 months. And because of that, she has to be a little more gentle with this transition period.
And we leave it in the plastic.
Yep. So let me show you the little platforms. They're grown in little sponges. If you're not familiar with aeroponic growing, this is an actual little sponge, and they describe it as biodegradable. And when you're using them in these units, there's a plastic cage around them. Here's the cage that it's in to start with. So she has not removed any of that, and she just gently lifted it out. One of the concerns, there's a recirculating pump in here. Sometimes you'll find your root system gets down into your pump, and you have to be careful because when you lift your roots out, sometimes the little sponge that covers the filter comes out with it. So you got to be a little bit careful with those things. This parsley, she's just going to put right back in again. I think that's what her long-term objective is here. Oh, wrong way. There is a right and wrong way. She doesn't have it fully planted because as plants get mature, they're too crammed in here. So she doesn't have every one of her cells in here. So you just sow the seed back again down in the sponge, and she drops it inside. And the cool things about these units is they're so idiot-proof, they'll tell you when to water and what to do. See it blinking down here? And it says add water. So these are foolproof. You don't have to really be a gardener to know how to use it because it'll tell you add water, and it'll also tell you fertilizer. She's doing the demo on her liquid fertilizer. She pre-mixes fertilizer. She actually uses this to water all of her house plants, and she pre-mixes her water in a gallon container. So she's going to mix this, and she's going to fill her thyme container, and she's going to keep this guy nice and evenly moist. So there's a good bit of water going in there. She wants to keep it, she'll be monitoring it with this gauge to make sure it stays moist. And she'll do her measurements up near the plant itself. She's not going to read the soil moisture out here. She's going to read the soil moisture in the area where she knows that her roots are. So that's her long-term objective, keeping this just sitting near her plant light, getting it acclimated because she wants to eat it and have it in her kitchen. Now let's look at this one. This is one of the seedling platforms The seedling platforms have a lot more of these cells in them for starting seedlings. Obviously, as the plants develop, there's not going to be adequate space for them. So you can see inside this one, a couple of them have not gotten the proper growth. This looks like a cabbage that she has in here, and it's been a little bit overcrowded. So her objective in this one, she's going to lift this whole platform out, and she's planning to plant this. There it is. There's her platform. There's her roots. She's going to move these directly into her vegetable garden. She's going to just gently lift them out, pull them in. And Kat, what was you're moving them directly into the vegetable garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right from here.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, she's not going to do any acclimating with this guy at all, except she's going to move it on their porch first. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She is going to put this whole container outside on her patio for a couple days first. You know, you have to not only acclimate your plants to full sunshine, you got to acclimate them to air movement. So she has a morning sun facing patio. She'll take this whole unit and just leave it sit out on her patio for about 2 or 3 days and get the plants acclimated to air movement. And then she's going to shift them right into her vegetable garden area that she has in the city property here in the town. So anyway, these are really cool tips. We highly recommend these aeroponic systems. There's all different kinds you can find on the internet. Sometimes around the holiday season, you can find them pretty reasonable. These can run for about $99 when they're on sale. There's certainly some nicer ones. You can buy different kinds of platforms for starting seeds, but a great way to get vegetables started in your house. So pretty cool stuff, Master Gardeners.